We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
James on Twitter. James has his content stored on the NAS or NAS unit. It's a network accessible storage. Is that right?
Usually it's network attached, but accessible makes sense too.
Whatever. He's trying to play back that content using his Roku 4. He says that he has a Plex media server set up and pointed to his NAS, but the Roku 4's Plex app isn't reading all the content. Any ideas for fixing this, or is there an alternative app on the Roku 4 that would be able to read the content from his NAS? I mean, without knowing all the how he's got it all stored, is this kind of like an impossible question to answer, isn't it?
Well, I mean, to answer the second part first, I'm just going to have a link. If you come to avrant.com, we have our show notes there. There's a link that basically lists all the available apps for playing back personal media. Whether or not any of those will work for you, I have really no experience with any of them, but at least it gives you a list of things that you could potentially try. Most of them are free, so it's a cost of time, not money. But Plex should work in this case, as long as it's a file format that Plex itself is able to understand and transcode. There should be a way to do this. Now, I've experienced this myself, interestingly, not on a Roku 4 because I don't have one, but actually on my own home theater PCs. So I have one PC that's acting as my Plex server, but then I have another home theater PC that's acting as a Plex media player. And strangely, I can get the files to play really nicely on my iPhone, on my iPad, and yet they don't play so nicely on a full-blown computer running Plex media player, and it's certain file types. Now, that's because on my Plex media player, on my full-blown computer, I tell it to direct play if it's capable. If it's a file format that it thinks it should be able to play, it just sends it as is. It doesn't transcode it in the media server and just tries to play it as is. And apparently, for whatever reason, my Plex media player cannot play some of those files. Whereas for my iPhone or my iPad or my Xbox One, for that matter, I have it set to transcode everything. All right, don't direct play anything, which in the case of the Plex media server, you have the checkmark boxes for direct play. So what you do is uncheck that. And that way it's saying, don't try to direct play, just always transcode regardless. And everything plays fine. So I'm thinking on your Roku 4, use your Plex Player app on the Roku 4, keep using your Plex media server, just make sure that your Plex media server is set to not send direct streams, to always transcode the stream, and it should work. It really should work. Plex plays almost anything.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.